Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2635 of What's She Up To Now. Today we're talking about criticism, judgment, constructive feedback, and creating a constructive feedback culture instead of a critical or judgmental culture in our organizations or in our lives and in our relationships. Supersizing our business and being a better version of ourselves is part of this year's Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we're talking about criticism and judgment. We defined them for both of the groups, shared examples both in personal type relationships and business relationships, gave some examples about the impact of criticism and judgment in our relationships. It's one of the most destructive things we can have in our organizations, in the groups we belong to, in our friendship groups, in our relationships at all. It negatively impacts every relationship, primarily because criticism is it's designed to point out our perceived, and I say perceived because it's just what the other person is seeing. And we all see things through our own filters, right? Our own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, past experiences, prejudices, opinions. But it's to point out perceived flaws, faults, mistakes of another person, usually in a way that makes them feel small or inadequate, right? Usually includes sweeping generalizations like, you're always late for dinner, you're always working, you're always too busy to spend any time with me, whatever it might be. Judgment, on the other hand, is about forming an opinion or about something or someone's character, and usually you don't even have any of the information or part of the information to go ahead and form an opinion on. Look at all the opinions about politicians out in the environment and in the world right now. Guess what? The vast majority of people, me included, when I share my opinion, I don't actually know these people. I have never met President Trump. My cousin has. He worked for him, but in his first administration, but I've never met him. And so how do I form opinions, and how do I form opinions about other people and politicians and criticisms, right? So we talked about that. We talked about what's the difference between criticism and feedback. Criticism, I'm going to share this again because I think it's that important. Criticism focuses on the person. Feedback focuses on the behavior. Criticism blames and shames. Feedback encourages improvement. Criticism is generalized and vague. Feedback is specific and actionable, meaning somebody says something about your hair, or which you can do something about. Somebody says something about your appearance, and it's critical, mean, and judgmental, and you might not be able to change that. I used to get teased about my nose, my witch nose. I can't do anything about my nose short of plastic surgery, so why would you criticize me about it, right? Feedback, on the other hand, is specific and actionable. So I can do something about, if I have bad vocabulary or don't know the meaning of a word, I can fix that. I can learn the meaning of that word. I can learn anything. Criticism breaks trust, and feedback builds trust. Criticism is often emotionally charged and said in an angry or mean or degrading tone of voice. And feedback is calm and respectful, right? It's like, hey, I'm telling you this thing after the meeting, you and me, just you and me, because I think it's something you need to know. Did you see everybody's face when you said what you said about so-and-so? Guess what? People noticed and they didn't like it. And I don't want your career to be hurt. Therefore, let's make sure that we behave in a different way going forward. So how do you handle criticism and judgment constructively? Well, first and foremost, we pause before reacting. We set boundaries. We seek clarity. We reframe the situation. And we do our best to continually improve and grow, right? We use I statements. We talked about that a few days ago. We ask questions to clarify and understand. Okay, thanks for the criticism. What did you expect me to take from that? How did you expect me to respond in the meeting? Did you just say that to embarrass me? Because you might have embarrassed me, but you embarrass yourself just as much by behaving in a critical and judgmental way in our staff meeting, etc. And then I invited everyone in both groups to actually do an exercise where they spend at least 15 minutes reflecting on a current or recent situation where they might have been critical or judgmental of someone else, and what they might have behaved that way, and the reason or the need that they behave that way. Sometimes I'll behave judgmentally or critically out of fear. If I'm afraid, physically afraid in an environment or situation, I might be judgmental and get the hell out of there. If I'm nervous about a group of people that I'm going into, I might have formed some judgments about the group that I'm going to be a part of, etc. We're all human. We all do the best we can with what we've got right now. But that doesn't mean that we're not personally responsible for improving and getting better. And I think criticism and judgment are two areas where we all need to get better and be better, me included. I make snide comments on social media sometimes. I don't feel good about it, but I do it. And then I'm mad at myself because I did it. And so and I guarantee I'm being judgmental and critical when I make those comments, because I don't know the people that I'm making the comments or that I'm commenting on the comment that they made about a post that, who knows where that post even came from, or if it's even real, or if, with social media nowadays, we cannot assume much. All right, that's it. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.